everyone, and welcome to... Wait a minute. Welcome to Faithful to the Traitors. That's right, we're still on holiday. We finished our holiday in Australia, and we are now
caught a quick ferry over the waters.
New Zealand, we're here. The rolling hills.
Yep.
We had lovely opening shots of episode 1 for about 5 minutes of New Zealand's countryside.
I thought New Zealand looked beautiful, actually. I thought it looked like a lovely little place to visit.
Before we talk about our condo, we have to obviously introduce ourselves.
Condo with a turret, apparently. Yes, that's right.
A lovely New Zealand
They
condo.
tried to make it like the UK series, but didn't quite. I feel like they didn't quite have the BBC budget. So
Paul's bachelor pad, I feel, where we're staying.
Paul Henry.
Rupert Murdoch.
He looked like Rupert Murdoch, and I believe has similar views to Rupert Murdoch as well.
Before we get into it, we need to introduce ourselves.
And also say hello to perhaps a brand new audience, because this is the first time we've delved into New Zealand.
Yes.
As it's being broadcast as well.
Mm-hmm. All things going, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
And I'm hoping, fingers crossed as well, that people got the reference at the top of the show as well. I'm not going to say anything, but if you did, at Faithful to the Traitors Podcast, at Traitors Podcast on Twitter.
Right.
And Faithful to the Traitors on Instagram.
It's not called Twitter anymore. It's called X.
X, of course it is.
But we will still call it Twitter. We will be dead naming Twitter until Elon Musk respects his child's new name. I am Ben, one of the co-hosts of Faithful to the Traitors.
Really?
Yes. And I am a faithful.
Mm-hmm.
I see that you're drinking a cup of tea over there.
I'm having a coffee.
Well, I'm going to pour some green juice into it, because I don't trust you.
Well, you should trust me. Because I haven't had Paul squeeze my shoulder, nor would Paul want to squeeze my shoulder, because I'm a homosexual. Sorry, Paul. Sorry about that, mate. And I'm also faithful. I'm Alex. My name is Alex, and I am faithful. And I'm topped up. You can probably tell.
Now you see, this is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
It certainly is, Paul. Can we just quickly, before we start anything, just say my disappointment about when I learned information about Paul Henry. So
I know.
Watch the first episode.
Watch the episode, yeah.
Saw Paul
New
Henry.
Host.
I thought, I like Paul Henry. Looks like Rupert Murdoch.
Got a walking stick.
A
glass of
Panama
wine
hat,
in hand.
Always drinking. Mm-hmm. I think that was in his contract.
Well, not a very good publicity there, because he has his own gin. He should have been holding his own gin, surely, not his wine.
Maybe it was the green stuff that he poured out.
That was his gin.
Yeah.
Paul's gin.
Paul's distilled piss.
It'll kill you and turn you straight.
Get out, you asylum seekers. So disappointed to learn a bit of information about Paul Henry, I must say. But I said to you that he's almost likened to me as like the Nigel Farage, whatever you want to call him, dickhead, of New Zealand to me.
Right.
That's the impression I got from him. And he's also very difficult to find information about, because when I first looked up Paul Henry on the old Google, there was a British actor called Paul Henry. He was on the TV soap Crossroads.
Is this another British person who we think is...
Paul?
Yeah,
it's another Paul. It's another Paul from the north of England. He's hopped from Australia. And he now looks like a stereotypical New Zealander. But yeah, no. And then there's another Paul Henry. He's a French underwater deep sea explorer.
Not to be confused with the
One's
bachelor condo owning New Zealand presenter.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I mean, to be fair, in a weird way, it's actually cast very well. And he said that it takes he might, again, if you want to liken him to someone, there's a quote of Noel Edmonds in the UK when he was given the job of doing Deal or No Deal. He went a bit like quiet. He was a bit of a recluse and wouldn't do any TV work. And he said it takes a lot to get me out of being, out of the come back into the limelight. And Deal or No Deal was the right format for him. So I feel like The Traitors was the right format for Paul Henry.
Got him out of retirement. Got him out of his chair. On his walking stick.
Yeah.
It was a shame, because he was quite a funny host. All the hosts have their own little thing, and I started looking him up, scrolling through, and it got worse and worse. And I thought,
oh no, Paul, stop
and
it.
And then I thought, wait, this was all about 2010. It's been 13 years.
Time has passed.
He did a podcast the other month. He says he doesn't regret anything he said, and I thought, for God's sake, you could have at least learnt, maybe. And being like, no, what I said a few silly things. but I'm a new person now, out of retirement. I've got my gin. I'm a host of this lovely reality show with loads of gay fans. But no, he hasn't learnt from what I said, so there was no saving him. But it's fine.
I mean, not to detract the fact I have enjoyed up until this point. We've watched one episode, but I have enjoyed his screen presence. I genuinely have. Like when he was doing the challenges, there was a kind of snark attached to his comments.
We
to
will
people.
continue
so I did enjoy it.
We'll continue to just what we normally do on the show is we don't talk about contestants' private lives.
Of course.
We just see them on the show
as
contestants as part of the reality show. We'll do the same for the host.
Exactly.
So Paul Henry, we'll just be taking the mick out of you. We'll just be taking out the mick out of you as we do everyone.
Oh, now you see, this is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
100%.
This is why I signed the contracts. Fascinating. Lining up.
I want two gay guys from the other side of the earth to talk about me on a podcast. And that's why he did it, and we know it, Paul. I mean, he's no, let's be honest.
What?
He's no Roger Corser, is he?
You really like Roger Corser?
I love Roger Corser.
Quickly Google the name. What's his name? No. Roger Corser, yes.
I was building up.
He's from the Australian one. We'll be talking about him very soon. The Australian one starts. So, my worst nightmare has happened. 2 series of Traitors at the same time.
They're crossing over. I mean, again, listeners, let us know. Do you want us to do the crossover at the same time, or are you happy for us to kind of step back, do the New Zealand series first, and then jump into the Australian
series? It's
very
confusing
afterwards.
Learning the name of 40 people in 2 different games with Roger Corser.
Well, yes, and I agree with you because I'm just looking down at the headshot because Ben is very good. He makes the headshots with their names for me.
Yes, I have my fact file, everyone. The famous fact file.
Anyone who likes listening to the podcast knows that Ben loves bringing. Although they haven't done the introductions the same way as they did in the Australian series.
Paul interviewed them, didn't he? Like Claudia in the UK one.
Big glass of wine. Topped up
so
with gin.
That already helps the edit for what we didn't like about the Australian one because we know a few people's reasons of what they'll spend their money on, stuff like that. So it's not so obvious as maybe what the Australian could have been.
70,000 New Zealand dollars.
Yes, very cheap.
The exchange rate. I did the exchange rate. I mean, it's a lot of money. £33,500 UK, but I mean, it's no $250,000, is it?
The way they're getting through it already, it's like they've already done half of it.
Well, they gave away
10,000. Added 6 or whatever they've done.
I don't think that 10 was part of the grand prize.
Yes, it was.
No, I don't think it was. He didn't say it was.
Okay, I mean,
Paul wouldn't lie to me.
Yes, he would.
Yes, he would, yes.
So seeing as you mentioned the 10,000, we have lost a contestant already.
Very early on.
Yes, we always like to remember the first because they're always forgotten. They never get anything to do. But this one did choose his own fate, at least.
He wasn't forced out. His hand wasn't shown.
And I'm quite glad because there's 2 Sams, and one of the Sams have gone.
Yes,
and it's the Sam with a stupid nickname of Sam Fury. So,
gamer.
That's good.
He's a gamer, and I had a lot of hope for him because when he was in the car driving up, he said, "You know, I play online games. I know what teamwork's about, but I also know how to, he probably plays Call of Duty. Line of Duty. I don't like shooting games, shooty games. I like RPG.
He probably plays like
action games.
No, he probably plays like action RPG, surely, or something.
No, because he said he likes playing online, like Xbox Live games.
Yeah, you play role-playing games online.
Yeah, but there's no. He's one of these. I believe he's one of those guys who like has a Twitch channel and has like the kind of headphones and like calls people like their mum, their mum out and stuff like that and shoots them behind their back. So I had a lot of hope for Sam Fury, but they had to line themselves up. This caused deja vu.
We thought, seen this before.
We've done this before.
How wrong were we?
Then the producers panicked because basically Paul said, right, the lower half, you have a choice now because you don't have confidence you're going to win.
He told them off as well for not standing in the line.
He threw gin on their faces.
Do you not know what standing in the line means?
You're not. No.
They're all scared of him as well, which I understand why.
I
don't know what he's going to say to you, really.
Terrified.
He might compare you to Susan Boyle.
Listen, we're doing him on the show. We're not doing him in his personal life. We've gone through that now. Come on.
Yes.
Come on. He gets a second chance on the Traitors. So anyway, the lower end of the crowd, the line where they said who's most likely and least likely to win, got a chance to take $10,000. Other Sam considered it as well, didn't he? But he said that he couldn't really see it. It was difficult for him to run down
no point.
But they
did say you could just walk if you want.
Because none of them were taking it.
No. Did you notice as well, I've noticed this crowd, they're all very happy, chummy, friendly.
I like them.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's not a villain. There's no one I don't like yet. They're all nice. Even when they turned into traitors, they were quite nice.
Well, one of them had a Cheshire Cat smile on his face. There's always one that smiles really broadly when he finds out that.
Before we move on from poor Sam, who left the game, we're going to do his fact file.
On Sam Fury?
Yes, of course. It's the only chance we get, unless he comes back later on somehow.
I mean, it feels a bit pointless because he was literally on for 10 minutes.
Well, he is a professional gamer.
Told you.
And he knows how to stay calm under pressure, which will come in handy. Will it? At the Traitors Round Table, and
he never even got to the round table.
And when Paul Henry tries to plug his gin.
Oh, so we knew Paul Henry was in it. I think they were acting.
I think this is the article trying to get me to buy the gin because the part saying plug his gin has a hyperlink which takes me to a shop for his gin.
So again,
we'll be buying a bottle of that for the final.
Paul Henry's a savvy man, isn't he? He's like, right, I'll do the Traitors for you, but I want an advert product placement everywhere.
I want to be constantly drinking my own gin the whole time.
It's like that episode of Poochie with Simpsons. When my gin's not on the screen, I want people to say, "Where's Paul's
your gin?" Sam plans on building a mind map that will reveal the traitors to him halfway through the series.
Never got that far.
Also using his skill of strategy from gaming, obviously, to stay ahead of the game. Well, he did stay quite ahead.
Intended. Well, he did. He took the money.
He took money. Incidentally, what would your professional gaming name be? The interviewer asked. Mine would be Sluggish. That's the end.
That's not a good gaming name.
No.
I would say that's objectively a bad.
Surely his professional gaming, he's already got a professional gaming name because he's a professional gamer.
Yeah, well, surely his professional gaming name is Sam
Fury. Fury and Sluggish are two very opposite things.
Very opposite things. It's like Paul and nice person. Opposites.
Lovely gin.
His
gin bottle has a printout of his face on it, by the way.
Does it? It's like those.
It looks like the KFC man.
Does it? Well, Colonel Saunders. There we go. We got a name for Paul. Colonel Saunders. And he's got the cane and the Panama hat.
It looks like a wanted poster, actually. His gin.
I can't see it.
It's called the Henry.
The Henry. Are you going to send it to me? All right. Well, Ben's doing that. So yeah. So Sam Fury has won $10,000. He's literally won a seventh. It looks like a wanted poster.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
It's like a wanted poster, yeah. So
what's that wine bottle? It's called like Convict or something like that. It's like they make red and white wine. And on the label it's like a picture of a convict. I think it's an Australian wine as well.
Don't know.
Anyway, Paul's taken $10,000.
No, he hasn't. Paul owns the shit.
Well, he did. He got a contract.
He took Paul's $10,000.
Right, he took it.
Sam Fury has gone. He didn't even say goodbye. He just got in a car and drove off.
He just drove off. Again, do you think that was intentional? He was like, sod yeah,
People did seem surprised at it. But
after that, we got to meet a few of the people a bit more intimately. Namely Lauren from Dancing with the Stars, the New Zealand version of Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, they don't pay too well because she really wants that money.
I know. That's a bit telling, wasn't
Professional dancer. I need the money so bad.
I need the money. I need to buy a house. I've got children
I need to get married.
I know. Television doesn't pay that well, in New Zealand.
So I think of no wonder the Sam ran off with the 10,000. He's not got Dance with the Stars money. He's gone.
I mean, in a weird way now, knowing that about like New Zealand television system, and also in America where you can.
We don't really know much. We're just assuming everything. But carry on.
Yeah, of course.
We're not here for facts on this podcast.
No, of course not. If you're here for facts, then you need to go to another Traitors podcast, guys, because you're going to get none from us. You're going to get sound bites and you're going to like them. It's like the American version where you can build a career from being a reality TV star. Maybe in Australia, like that's why they've done a celebrity version.
Australia.
Sorry, the New Zealand version.
God.
But again, because we're not from the land down under, slightly lower than that.
Celebrity, yeah.
We don't know these people who are the celebrities and who aren't. The only one I do know is Lauren and Matt, for that instance, to be fair, because Matt, you can tell he's like a shock jock radio breakfast presenter.
Yeah, but you don't know him as a celebrity. No, or Lauren, clearly, surely.
Yeah, from knowing what they've done, I know that they're a celebrity now on the show. But if like Justine...
Very odd spelling for Lauren's name.
Yes. I'm looking at the
Lauren.
things. Philly. I can't remember Philly at all.
Philly?
Fili. I'm presuming I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, he's the one that looks like The Rock. That's The Rock.
Oh, I thought you were making a joke. When we were watching the show, you said, "Oh, Dwayne The Rock Johnson's on." I said, "Oh, I wish."
That is a joke. He's not actually The Rock. He's Philly.
Should we talk more about Captain Saunders? Captain Saunders, Colonel Saunders?
Yeah, Philly was there. He was. He looks like The Rock. Can I say as well? Don't know what's going on in New Zealand.
Right.
A lot of people are 50 and above on this show.
Okay.
I was very confirmed.
You've had your confirmation.
I was confirmed homosexual by Paul Henry. No, I was so confused
you are now gay.
because every single person looks so bloody young. The model looks like about 25 years old. He's 51 years old. So I have to up my limit. I have like a limit where I'd say if you were dead...
Colin?
Yeah,
Colin the model.
Brooke looked all right. All of them looked all right.
Brooke's a good-looking guy.
The Rock, Philly... They're all and all of them were like 60, 70, 50.
No, I think...
So I'm upping my age limit. If you were dead, my age limit was at about 40, 43, 44.
Oh, what,
but now...
for people you date?
Yep, now it's going up to 52.
But with
New
an
Zealand.
asterisk... Yes, with an asterisk that they have to come from the land of the Kiwi.
Approved by Paul Henry.
Yes. I want Paul Henry to conduct if we ever get married.
My wedding.
Yes, I do. I want Paul Henry to officiate our wedding.
He has to go against his morals, but we'll supply his gin.
Paul, we'll do it. We'll be like Anthea Turner with the Snowflake Flake for the Hello magazine. If our wedding ever gets into like Hello or OK magazine, we'll just hold up his bottles of gin. We'll do that for you, Paul. We love you.
We can turn him into a Hun.
I reckon he's an ally. He just does.
He's going to be cash. He's like Kim Woodburn.
Yeah.
You know, the gays love him, but he hates gays, which is why we love him.
I don't think Kim Woodburn hates gays.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. She's a bit...
She hates a lot of things. But the gays, I think she's on the side of the gays. So we learned a few other people. Who else did we... Oh, there's another blooming psychic on the show.
Yeah, not as annoying yet as the past psychic.
I know 4 people already who are traitors. Each and every one of them wrong. Yeah. Then we're going around that merry-go-round.
Yeah,
and again...
She questioned... She thought Robbie was suspicious because she was talking too much, didn't she, I think? And she made her stomach feel funny, which is her sign.
Oh, Kimberly.
She hasn't done anything too insulting yet, so I can't dislike her like the last one on the Australian one. Yeah, but yet.
Yes. Okay,
I'm sure my time will come.
Her time.
I mean, the first 3 episodes, I don't know who anyone is, to be quite honest. Everyone looks the same to me. So.
I'm building quite a bond, actually, with a few of these people. There's the one that looks like Daisy May Cooper, or Kerry from this country.
Brody.
That's Brody, yeah.
She's already clocked Dan, I think, hasn't she?
What,
she suspects Dan of being a traitor.
Oh, I see, okay.
Bedtime.
When you say Dan, I just presume you're like, she's clocked Dan.
No.
Clocking around the back of the head and dragging her to the room.
On the bench, so I think he's worried about her.
Well, not only her, they're worried about Dan. Brooke, is it Brooke's worried about Dan as well? Because they played poker together. Was it Brooke who said that? My memory serves me correct.
Oh, I don't know. It was one of the celebrities. I thought it was Mike. But I can't remember. But yeah, one of them said they know each other.
No, it's Dan. Dan and Brooke know each other because later on, I won't ruin it, but when they're talking about who they want to murder, Dan's adamant that he needs to keep Brooke on side because they talk about getting rid of Brooke, and Dan says...
Brooke is...
Dan privately says to the producers later on, it's like, oh no, I need to keep Dan on my side because he's a good friend. And so they play poker together. So Brooke... When he saw Dan, he was like, "Oh, Dan will be good as a faithful because he'll be able to see.
He's got a good poker face,
but also he'll be able to see the little, the looks and the sides and the kind of like the ticks. Is that what it's called when people are like kind of like showing that they're under stress and pressure and lying? Yeah. So actually, to be fair, Dan, MVP so far in my game. I think he's going to do really well.
No, I don't. I think people are going to see him, but I think he's going to be one of those that throw people under the bus.
Oh yeah, big time. And so he'll play a good game. No, I know. When they showed the 3 traitors... So, right, should we say who the 3 traitors are then? Because we've pretty much as good as
Yeah, Paul did his laps. His breathing was much more controlled than we have with Rogers.
Gin. Well, that gin and red wine. Do you reckon he's a constant state of drunkenness?
Yes. Yeah, after his interviews where he had a bottle...
Hook up the wine to my veins.
He had a whole bottle during the interviews to work out who he wants to be a traitor.
A bottle and a half.
And then he had another bottle when he was doing his round trips in circles, making himself a bit dizzy.
Another bottle when he was playing the
gripping
games.
people on the shoulders.
Yeah, they weren't actually meant to be traitors. He was just stumbling and he had to quickly grab onto someone to stop him from falling over.
Once he did it 3 times, they were like, cut.
Paul throwing up in the background because he's gone round and round.
The wrong people, but it's fine. So he picked Dan, which we've said already.
Poker player. Good, should be a good traitor.
Should we do the fact files on the traitors as we go? Because they won't get a thing, will they?
Go on then. Give us Dan.
Give me 2 seconds, because this list that I found is not organised very well, as normal ones are. So I'm not very happy with the spinoff.co.nz.
Thanks, New Zealand. Failed.
Dan Singh. Pa poker face. Pa poker face.
What?
I didn't write this. I'm reading from the article. Here we have a world-class international poker player.
Poker player.
Traitors found dead. Faithfuls found dead. Paul Henry found dead.
What?
Me found dead. Not only has he taken out the New Zealand Poker Open after playing for 17 hours straight, Dan has also acted in Power Rangers. Oh my God. Xena.
Right.
Xena, the actress of Xena today, tweeted saying, "Who's this Kiwi that I keep seeing online called Dan Wootton? What's he done?" So, Lucy Lawless, we love you. And he's also been in Vegas. And Vegas.
Can we just say that was Dan Wootton, not Dan from the Traitors?
Not Dan Singh, Dan
Again,
Wootton.
Dan Wootton and Paul get on like a house on fire. That's all you need to know.
He's also played a murder suspect on Broken Wood Mysteries.
I want to watch Broken Wood Mysteries. Where do I get the streaming service from?
I don't know.
Is it on Netflix?
Wow, he's been in Xena and Power Rangers.
Power Rangers is the one for me. Obviously, Xena's the one for you.
Mm-hmm.
What series of Power Rangers?
I don't know.
I always say that as if I've watched
read.
any other than the original series, because I was of age to watch it when I was young, but now I guess I'm a bit too old. Although there's that new Power Rangers film out, isn't there, on Netflix?
Well, it got like 4 out of 10, didn't it?
Well, are you surprised? It's Power Rangers. It's not exactly Shakespeare, is it? Oh no, these clay men are coming to kill me.
He played a villain. Power Rangers Ninja Storm.
Oh my goodness.
He's in a green suit with yellow piping. And his hair's all slicked back.
Lovely.
So there you go.
Is it, again, you're going to show me the picture? This
yes.
is exciting times. So
It's great
Dan,
for a podcast.
Dan is we should post it on our Instagram. Ben will post.
Oh yeah, we have got Instagram
Yes,
now.
at Traitors Podcast.
So we'll post Paul's gin and a picture of Dan Singh on Power Rangers.
Sorry, on Instagram we're
You're very distracted by that photo, weren't you?
I was. On the Instagram we're at the Faithful to the Traitors. So go on there and you can see the picture that Ben will post, which I will remind him of our mate Dan in Power Rangers. And maybe Paul's gin.
Oh yeah, Paul's
Paul
wanted
like
poster.
I mean, if Paul wants to send me some free gin, I mean, beggars
Paul's
can't
not
be choosers.
listening. If you are listening, hello, Paul.
All right, Paul.
So the other traitor was Lauren.
Dancing with the Stars.
Loryn.
Lauren.
Spelled
Don't start doing
phonetically.
Australian accents or accents of that area.
There's no Dancing with the Stars New Zealand this year. So professional dancer Lauren has charred her way over to the Traitors New Zealand. Why is there no New Zealand Dancing with the Stars this year? What's happened?
Maybe they cancelled it.
What, the Prime Minister cancelled it when she resigned? Lauren is used to...
Was that one of her terms?
I bet that's why Paul's come out of retirement. He's probably happy that she's gone.
Oh, yeah,
Lauren is used to slaying the competition on Dancing with the Stars New Zealand. But she'll need more than a snazzy Viennese waltz to avoid murder. Oh, waltz. To avoid murder on the dance floor here. My fact file, I don't like this website. I'm going to have to find a new fact file next episode, I think, because this is a bit... Pardon?
Your microphone's crackling.
Oh, yeah, it always does, but it's fine on the audio.
Oh, okay, cool. Timestamp. But what about Matt, though?
Who's Matt?
Matt is the third traitor of the three. He's
the
the Shock Jock breakfast radio host, and he's the one who had that really broad smile while he was like chatting.
See, the person who made this article, it's not in alphabetical order, and the photos are just all in different places.
I also don't know who's actually talking, whether it's the person in this article, if it's the person writing the article.
I think it's the person writing, because they keep making jokes every time that I have to relay as my own. Matt Heath.
As in Broadland.
He's a radio breakfast host.
Yes, I've said that 3 times.
He thought Taskmaster New Zealand was filled with batshit challenges.
He was on Taskmaster New Zealand.
Yeah.
I said that the
Was
house
that the one that we
looked
watched?
Like, we watched 2 episodes of it because you said that a lot of people said that the New Zealand version of Taskmaster is very good.
It was
certain
good,
series of it.
But the YouTube we watched on was a bit dodgy.
Well, I didn't.
And the guy was hot who hosted it. Co-hosted
What, the main host?
No, not the main. The psychic one. I can't remember.
The Alex Horn one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was hot, to be fair.
He was pictured in the UK one with what's the guy from the UK one called?
Alex Horn.
Yeah, they were pictured together.
Greg Davis?
No, Alex Horn and the hot guy from New Zealand one were pictured together in the UK house.
It would not surprise me.
Or if they're just going to film in UK.
No, if they do an international version soon. Mm-hmm. Because isn't there like another version in like Netherlands? I think the Netherlands do a version as well. We should have done a Taskmaster podcast. Idiots.
Bit late. There's like 20 series. Anyway, he thought that the New Zealand one was filled with batshit challenges. Wait until he finds out what happens on the Traitors. You spike people's drinks.
I know.
In front of everyone.
I did think that was weird, that task. It did feel a bit like
riddles in a church.
Well, we know that's coming next
ridiculous.
Crazy.
Getting songs.
Churches for praying.
Getting songs by listening to church bells.
Oh, hello.
Absolutely bonkers. Set fire to a wicket babe.
Babe? Set fire to babies? Crazy.
To a wicker beast. So we all know they're doing exact same tasks. Good luck on this one, Matt. I want to know who the writer of this article is.
Was that you saying that, or was that the
writer
saying that?
No, this is all the writers. 2 writers, by the way, this is.
Wow,
Alex Casey, who's a senior writer, and Tara Ward, who's a TV writer.
Right, Alex and Tara.
Very
we're watching you.
Unimpressed with their writing.
Oh no! Don't be cruel. Don't be cruel. You could.
No, I couldn't be this snazzy.
Exactly. Look at the mess our podcast is.
I know we're running out of time. It's half an hour already. We've not even talked about the episode yet.
Wait, hello, the new listeners from New Zealand. I hope you're enjoying it.
I'm feeling overwhelmed, bewildered, and excited.
That's how I feel.
That's how I felt.
Well, that's the end of the episode. Bye.
Yeah, see you guys.
We need to get on. Right. So that's the 3 traitors that were picked round the table.
2 games then. So first of all, the traitors were individually, they still don't know who each other were, and they were individually given a secret task to do, a la Big Brother. That is that they had to pot during their social time. I loved it they called it, the social time.
They had 45 minutes.
To pot the 7 ball in a game of pool, and each time they did it, they gained an extra $1,000. It doesn't sound like a lot of money, does it?
Well, they're running out quick because there's only 70 to go, and they're already...
Well, they've made 5.
I think they're going to run out of things if we're doing this many games on every episode.
Yeah, but they're not giving away a lot of money, are they, really? Let's be honest. And instead of like giving away bars like they do in like every other version, like so they say, and each bar's worth $5,000 or £5,000, they're like, and you win a coin. They got a coin. They get like a coin. It's like, because that was the... So anyway, so they do that.
Lauren couldn't play very well. She hit the balls
still
all
potted
over the place.
one.
Yep, she did.
While Dan, who said he was like a professional bar fly or whatever, he couldn't pot one for love nor money.
He only had a few minutes though because she took.
Well, he had 45.
No, because she was taking up all the time in the first game.
That's true. Matt potted one as well. Matt's
good old
secret
Matt.
skill.
He's very untrustworthy, his face. I feel that's going to come get him later.
Well, a lot of people didn't like the fact that he wasn't taking it very seriously when they were having conversations. And also, at one point, I think Dylan brought up that Matt forgot what the name of the game was. And he had to remind him, it's called The Traitors.
And Dylan heard someone, I can't remember who it was. Was it Brody or was it
Robbie?
He heard her say, I'm going to be too drunk to murder tonight or something.
And we know from watching the Australian version
that's
a surefire way of getting yourself done in. And
that will crop up again in episode 10.
Well, she did get done in because they then played the game where they had to pour the green liquid into the drink of the person they trusted the least in the group. And Robbie had 5 people of 18, so quite a hard...
I do feel a lot of them were just like, because she'd had like 2 already, everyone was like, well, we're all going to go there then.
Now, see, this is where we're leading, because when you say already had too much, you could also argue that perhaps they'd all kind of delved into Paul's drinking cabinet, because then the game happened where they had to find coins.
In his drunken state, Paul had lost his coins.
He'd lost 4 coins, each worth $1,000. They had to look around the house where they were hidden.
18 drunk people just trashing a house looking for coins.
It was like they were on their hands and knees. They were like
lifting up coffee tables. Paul was there going, that's a ridiculous place. You would find a coin under there. And then some guy pulled out the fireplace. He was like, oh, yeah, there's a coin there.
Yeah.
Under a coffee table's ridiculous, is it, Paul?
To be fair, Paul was then reminded by our mate Lauren, spelled Lorryn, that she pirouetted her way to underneath the pool table and said, "Here's one," and I found it under the pool table. And Paul was like, "Yeah, that's true." Paul was. This is where I kind of liked Paul. Because then
this is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Paul was loving it. Because when they were handing the coins over to him, I did like the tone in which he was going, "God, aren't you clever? Well done. You really well done."
Patronised. I thought he was acting, but he's not.
If I were a coin, where would I be?
What the heck was that?
If I were a coin, where would I be?
Was that Paul?
No, I don't know who it was.
Oh.
It was one of the male contestants. God knows who. They all look the same.
They all look the same.
Ask me on episode 5 when I know the characters.
Why do you say they all look the same?
Because everyone looks the same to me until about episode 3 or 4. It's just where we are. I think it was...
I think you've been talking to Paul Henry.
I think it was Mike or Sam that said, "If I were a coin, where would I be?" I think it was one of them.
Can we talk about Sam? Not
Yes.
Sam Fury, he's gone.
Sam Smith.
Sam, is that his name? Sam Smith?
Yes, not the singer.
No.
I'm sure I bet that's what the article says. I'm not going to read his thing out yet.
Okay. Well, while you're looking
Yeah.
it up, there was a really interesting moment actually between Sam and Anna. Because Sam kind of said to the producers on this kind of talking heads bit, he said that, I've got MS, so I'm partial. He says he's blind, but I think he can. I don't know. Obviously, I've not got his eyes, but he seems to indicate that he can partially see things, maybe close up or whatever. And he said, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to make people kind of feel a bit sorry for me, so they wouldn't want to vote me out.
I know, that made me laugh.
Which I thought was brilliant. And Anna there, and so that was interesting to me because I thought actually that's interesting because this is the first time where they've had a partially sighted or blind contestant on the show, where it's a show where you're not only kind of like looking for clues through the way people are talking to one another, but you're also looking for clues through the facial expressions and the way people act. So Sam, I'm obsessed with Paul. Sam automatically has like quite a disadvantage in the game.
Or an advantage.
Well, because his other senses are more heightened. So he's got like bat hearing, so he can hear in other rooms.
People might be more relaxed around him because they think he's at a disadvantage and he's not.
Well, someone who was more relaxed around him was Anna, who then whipped off her wig and said, "Ha ha ha ha, I've got alopecia." And you know what? I thought Anna looked absolutely stunning without her wig. And
she did.
I think she should have
also
have confidence to not
good
wear her wig.
Because I normally clock
Fantastic
a
wig. And I love the picture of Anna as well. She looks like the host of Naked Attraction, I thought.
Yes. Who's also called Anna, isn't she? I'm sure she is.
I'm sure New Zealand people just steal our names.
Yes.
Because we have the monopoly on names in the
what
UK. That's what we do now. We've got nothing else. Ever since Brexit, that's all we have. That's all we can trade. That's what we're trading with New Zealand now with that new block. Names.
So that was a nice moment between them. It was good.
I really liked it. And so Sam and Anna are my two to watch. That's it.
I like Justine, the comedian with red hair.
Yeah. What was it about her that you liked? Her rosy red lips?
Just everything about her. I don't know. I just like her. She's like she's someone I like. And I also like Robbie, which I'm upset at because everyone's targeting her.
They both look like characters from a soap. Justine and Robbie. Like from Australia.
Wentworth. I can see Justine on Wentworth.
I can see Justine in Wentworth. She's the kind of person who'd like want a cup of tea. Cup of tea. Series 1 only. That's all she's worth.
So what do they do after that then? So they got their coins. They got their gel and their things.
Yeah.
Blamed everyone.
Carried on drinking. Got a bit more tipsy.
Went home, fell asleep.
Paul passed out somewhere. And midnight struck, and then the three traitors got to meet one another, and they went through their suggestions of who they want to murder. So
I feel Lauren was kind of like, I think Dan
she was the
and
odd
Matt
one
were
out,
kind of
she?
just pushing their way around. So hopefully she backstabs them both eventually.
But I think she might. See, I thought the same thing when she first walked into the room and the two guys were already there, Matt and Dan. I thought, oh no, Lauren, I think you're going to be overplayed here. But actually, we know that women are very strong characters and they're good at manipulation.
Right.
Use their sexy assets.
God, sexist.
I don't feel like
you've been talking to Paul Henry.
I've been talking to Paul Henry. Me and Paul shared a gin. Anyway,
women.
Yeah, the weaker sex. Barbie film, how dare they make that film? I love women. I love my mum.
Right.
God, I'm digging a hole. So the 3 people that have been put out as suggestions for murder are Kimberly, because she's a psychic and has a lot of influence.
Why do they always have influence? It's so stupid.
No,
it's because they're all clueless, and that's like the only thing they can go by. Okay, so Kimberly.
Don't forget they've been together for less than 24 hours.
Yeah, I know.
It's a very tricky
stupid.
one.
Anyway, carry on.
Dylan, because he's
a
read a
writer.
room. He can read. That's it. So they used a pun. He can read a room. And Brooke, but as I said earlier, Dan is trying to dissuade them.
Yeah, he wants Brooke to stay because he thinks that's going to be a little pal.
He's someone he can
On the
have an
side.
alliance with. So he wants. So I think Brooke is not going to happen. But I think Dylan's got the chop. I do.
Oh, Kimberly.
Dylan was very confident, and also he kept pointing things out about people.
Too early to do that.
It's very early.
That's a death
You need to
nail.
be a bit like Paul in the Australian series at the beginning. You need to kind of stand back, watch the room.
Don't do this. We don't cross over, remember, because people may listen to this and not seen the Australian one and seen Paul's journey.
I love
So
Paul.
just keep it at that, please.
I'm praying that he's going to
Focus on Philly and being the Rock's lookalike.
Okay, King. Is
No,
it,
not
Philly
King.
is the
It's
Rock.
Philly. Kings is the rapper, isn't he? I think. I
Is
don't
he?
know. I think so. We'll find out when we see his fact file.
I mean, I always save myself for the fact files when you kind of bring
Is
them
there
up.
any Ethan/Christian/Aaron sticking out that they ate on the series for you? That if you know, you know, or not yet?
Not really.
No. Colin.
I think Colin's a good-looking lad. Yeah,
We'll go with Colin.
I like Colin. I keep staring at Sam Fury for some reason because his face looks familiar, and I can't. He
was
a
on
bit
the
like...
Traitors episode 1 of.
That's right. That's where I remember him. Don't you think that the 2 Sams look really similar?
When I was making this thing,
It's like father
their
and son.
photos overlapped and like they're exactly the same.
Yeah.
So it's very odd.
Do you reckon it's like one of them? Like Sam Fury is like the unknown child of Sam.
Like the same age. Aren't
One evening in like 1992 or something like that. Sam, they're not the same age, are they?
I don't know. My fact file, I need to get a better one because I don't like this one. It's not got ages and it's not got quotes on them. It's just got stupid poker face puns. So I will update this for our next
Do you know someone we haven't spoken?
Oh, right. Who?
We haven't spoken about at all. Well, there's a couple of people
A lot
actually. Well, no, but Vanda.
Who?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. She did do something. The one who had no screen time was...
Don't say Mike because Mike did. Kristen.
Yeah.
Kristen.
She had nothing. She had no VT bit, no bit to camera.
There's always got to be a Paul in the series. There has.
Yeah. I thought she may be the first one murdered because of it. But she's not on the possibilities, so who knows?
I think we've covered them quite well.
Yeah, there's plenty of time. We've got a whole series.
I mean,
yet.
haven't we just?
We're already running over on this extended episode edition.
But I did again.
Now you see, this is fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.
Which is what everyone at home is saying right now. And if you want to kind of give us your view and give us your 2 cents of what you think the series is going to happen and what's going to happen. I mean, we're watching it as it's being aired in New Zealand. So you've got opportunities.
All going well.
It's not like we're watching it in hindsight. We're watching it as it's happening. So you can email us.
Oh yeah, there's more chance to speak to us.
Come and say hello. Traitor... Faithful to... I haven't done this in a while. Faithful to the traitors at gmail.com.
Right.
Say hello to Ben and Alex.
Yep. The
Ben and
email's
me.
open again now, so we will see.
We're
your
open for
email.
business. Don't send us spam. We've got a Twitter. We've got an X account, formerly known as Twitter,
Twitter.
at Traitors Podcast. We've got an Instagram account, formerly known as Instagram, at Faithful to the Traitors. Still no threads.
No. Paul follows us from Australian Traitors.
But we're not talking about that now,
I
are
know,
we?
but that's the highlight of our universe.
So, and if you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or any of your podcast apps for that matter, and you fancy just dropping us a review, if this is the first time you've heard us and you thought, you know what, that
was a good podcast.
that mess of a hellhole was a great podcast.
That was really well structured.
Paul Henry, I never knew so much about him. Then please, if you did like it, then give us 5 stars and a comment of why you gave us 5 stars, please, because it does help us grow, and it in more ways than one, and it also helps us get out there for more people to enjoy, because we love making this podcast and we love getting your comments, and we love reading them out on the show as well. So please get involved, get in touch.
Lovely. So there you go then. So we'll see you for the next episode when we find out who's been murdered, and we finally get to see a round table, which is always Very fun. So you've been listening to Faithful to the Traitors.